Hello, welcome to another episode of Tales of the Abyss. So we gotta return mushrooms, and then we could probably read the synopsis
Yes.
of where we're at as a refresher.
Oh, right. I had just fast traveled to Batical before.
And Anne is kind of like dragging everyone everywhere. Like, maybe you should go see your mom. Let's go get mushrooms now.
Annis really doesn't want to go back to Doth right now.
What are you talking about? I just thought because we're leaving here and that we did and then came back, that, we could see his mom before we go off on some random adventure without her ever knowing. Again.
Young master, did you find any Rignican death caps?
Yes, we brought one. Hurry and brew it for Mother.
Right away.
Luke, they provided me with my medicine. But don't tell me you... I told you not to do anything dangerous.
I'm sorry, Mother, but actually it wasn't it wasn't me. It was Ash and the others here who went and got it. I didn't do anything.
He did?
I'd like you to thank him someday when he comes home to this manor.
Yes, I will. And thank you all. And Luke, too.
See, wasn't that nice?
Now can we please go to Doth?
Then maybe we could do some other things.
I don't think there's anything...
I want to go sightseeing. Oh wait, Luke, don't you have to check your diary thing or something?
Right, I need to write in the diary. Okay, everyone's feelings. When we reached Doth, we caught Annis tricking people into giving offerings. She's just as dirty as ever when it comes to money, isn't she? She did say her family's caught up in loans, so I guess she might have worries of her own, though she sure doesn't look like it. Anyway, we have to see Ion, so we headed to the church while Annis went back to return the offering she'd taken. While we waited for Annis, I asked her how the Order of Lorelei was doing recently. Apparently Mose has been removed from his position as Grand Maestro. Good going, Ion. Then Annis rejoined us, and she told us that the Order isn't having much success in getting rid of the score. The people keep asking to have the score read. Apparently they think that the Outer Lands falling into the Qliphoth was part of the closed score. I guess from their point of view, the score is still on track, so they can't manage living without it. Or they can't imagine living without it. We'll just have to change things a little bit at a time. Ion should be in his room. Let's go see him. Ion was doing even better than I'd expected. It seems he hasn't had to use Dothic phonic art, so he's in good shape. That's a relief. There was something I'd wanted to ask Ion. He's a replica too, after all. I wanted to know how he'd feel, what he'd do if he was in my situation. Ion said that he realized during our trip that he didn't want to be anybody's replacement, so he'd probably work to inform the world about replicas. That sounds like Ion. But I couldn't do anything like that. I'd be too afraid of being told I wasn't needed. Tyr gave Ion her report. Apparently the planet Storm's increased activity is being caused by large-scale consumption of 7th phonons. Tyr said she thought Master Van's plan might still be alive and causing the problem. But we don't know the truth. In any case, Ion had a meeting to go to and said he'd see us off. I don't want to cause him any trouble, so I guess we should go. At the entrance to the church, we ran into Guy. He'd come from the Malkuth House of Lords to report to Ion. He said that Dist had broken out of his cell in Grand Kokma and taken Mose from the ship that was carrying him to his hearing. And he said that the reason the breakout was noticed so soon was because Ash had said to keep an eye on the God Generals. Ash himself had headed for St. Bina, saying something about freeing Lorelei. So Ash really did hear Lorelei's voice. And it sounds like he understood the meaning, too. Unlike me. When I said I wanted to go after Ash, Guy said he'd come along because he'd been told to find Ash too. And even Annis ended up coming with us. Why her? It's odd for her to leave Ion's side. But she'll certainly be a help in battles, so I'm glad to have her along. Even with Uldrent back to its original form, the monsters are doing as well as ever. So we headed for St. Bina. The plot revived. When we reached St. Bina and met former Field Marshal McGovern, he mistook me for Ash, so Ash must have been here after all. I asked about him, and apparently he's gone to Shuri Hill. We might still be able to catch him. Let's go! At Shuri Hill, Guy asked me if I was scared of meeting Ash. He was right on the button. He really does watch people closely. Yeah, I'm scared of meeting him. I think he ought to return to the manor, but then I don't have a clue what I'd do. And when I think of Guy, who managed to put aside years of contemplating revenge, I wish I could be as decisive as Guy, but I guess that's impossible for a replica. As we proceeded through Shuri Hill, we found the dead bodies of Oracle soldiers lying on the ground. Tyr said that the Oracle Knights were being reorganized after the deaths of Master Van and the 6 God Generals, so they should all be on standby. I don't like this. Let's go forward and find out what's going on. I can't believe who we saw. Ash was under Shuri Hill, facing off with none other than Legretta, who was buried in that avalanche. Granted, we survived it, so there's no reason they couldn't have as well, but at the least it's clear that Legretta's alive, so it's probably best to assume that Arietta and Largo are as well. Then Ash said Sync was also alive. That can't be! We saw him fall into the core and die! If he's alive, then even Master Van, who likewise fell into the core from the absorption gate, could have survived. But it seems like that's not the reason why Ash wants to go to the core. He says that Lorelei is trapped somewhere. Lorelei is the collective unconscious... No. Lorelei is the collective consciousness of the 7th phonon, so if it's trapped, the total volume of 7th phonons in the world will decrease. Then the planet storm will increase...
It's not percent.
...in strength to try and make up the difference, leading to the core's vibration getting worse and destroying the Tartarus. So as long as Lorelei's trapped, the world is going to be in danger again. I wanted to learn more, but for some reason Ash got mad at me and left. What's with him? Especially after being injured by Legretta like that. Anyway, if we return to St. Bina, Ash might still be there. Let's hurry back. And Legretta was saying something about a key of Lorelei she was trying to get from Ash. I wonder if that's something Ash has. When we returned to St. Bina, we found Malkuth soldiers gathered there with Jade in their midst. Apparently, the Malkuth troops had been attacked during training by a mysterious group, and General Frings, who had been leading the exercises, was severely wounded. Jade said that Ash hadn't been by St. Bina, but right now I'm worried about General Frings. We went with Jade to Grand Kokma, where General Frings had been carried, to learn more. People end the score. General Frings was already down to his last breath. With his remaining strength, he told us about the attack. The attackers had carried the flag of Kimlaska's army and used phone tech bombs to carry out suicide attacks. But he said that they hadn't looked like the real Kimlaskan army. I'm sure it wasn't. I know Natalia wouldn't allow that to happen. General Fring said the mysterious soldiers all had eyes that looked like they were dead, and those were his last words. We departed to inform Emperor Peony of the incident. Farewell, General Frings. We told Emperor Peony about General Frings, and he asked me to quietly check at the Kimlaskan court to confirm the situation. Well, I'll go if he asks me to, but I don't really want to go to the castle. I'm scared to meet Uncle. The king. Guy reported that the God Generals are alive and that we saw Ash. Apparently Emperor Peony is looking for the key of Lorelei Ash has, because it might be able to calm the planet storm down again. Then I mentioned what Lorelei had told me when we lowered the Outer Lands, and everybody was startled. It looks like I was the only one that didn't fucking know what it meant. From what everybody said, it sounds like Master Van is alive and has trapped Lorelei somewhere. And that Lorelei should have sent a key to me as well as Ash. But I haven't received any sort of key. I don't know what's going on. Jade then suggested that we start with what we can easily confirm, that the army that attacked the Malkuth soldiers really wasn't Kimlaska's. Anna said she wanted to write a letter to Ion to tell him what was happening, so we headed to the entrance to Grand Kokma to wait for her. Anna sent off her letter and rejoined us. Tyr seems worried about Master Van possibly being alive. I can understand that. I'm sure she'd be happy to see him alive, but if he's still thinking the same way, we'll probably end up fighting again. But that would also be a good chance to ask Master Van what he's really trying to accomplish. And besides, like Jade said, right now we need to take care of what we can. Let's head for Batical and see what we can find out. At the entrance to the castle in Batical, we ran into Natalia, who had just returned from inspections. It seems she's heard of the attack on the Malkuth troops as well. She was infuriated at the rumors that Kimlaska was at fault. Not only that, it sounded like Kimlaska has been attacked by the mysterious army too. At any rate, the king should know more. His Majesty confirmed that the Kimlaskan army wasn't attacking Malkuth, so who are those mysterious soldiers? Jade brought up General Fring's comment on their eyes and suggested that the god generals might be creating an army of replicas. Since it looks like they're trying to increase tension between Kimlaska and Malkuth, that would match up with the report that Dist had taken Mose back. Then Natalia asked the king for permission to travel to Doth and arrange a summit to discuss how the score should be handled, to try and prevent any more foolish actions in its name. She sure knows what she's talking about. I guess that just goes to show that she's royalty and I'm a mere replica. The score is going to be discussed, and will obviously need to be involved as well. We started out for Doth to ask his opinion. I'm sensing a lot of self-loathing popping up in Luke's diary at present. So Annis is dragging us off to explore the rest of the mansion now.
Let's explore!
Annis, don't you think we ought to be getting to...
Maybe we should explore more! Are you sure you haven't, talked to everyone? Instead of staying in a room all day?
Okay, go ahead, Annis.
Harry?
Pear,
you sure seem to like reading. These books all look so hard.
Annis, what does that have to do with anything?
It's quite enjoyable to learn new things. For example, Master Luke, do you know about the history of Batical?
It was built in a crater made from a large phone stone that fell to Earth, right?
Yes. Now, as it happens, this area was once known as Hispania.
Here it comes. I hate history. And I literally do hate history.
Hispania.
Fuck you, bitch.
Look, when it's fucking just history that's not interesting, I hate it.
All history is interesting.
Yes, I've heard people talk about ancient Hispanian before, but...
Yes, indeed. This is a very famous Hispania.
Hispania was destroyed by King Julius of Kimlaska.
Kimlaska was still a small country, but in defeating Hispania, it took its place among the world's powers. Huh.
See, now I wonder if that was actually Julius or if it was actually Julius.
At the time, both Kimlaska and Malkuth were vassal states.
The Malkuth Empire began during the revolution of ND 468, when it declared independence.
So Malkuth and Kimlaska could have ended up at parts of the same country? That certainly is a possibility. History is funny that way. In any case, lay people this well-versed in history are a rarity. I'm impressed.
Well, I may be a lay person now, but I was once the protector of the Guardios family.
Oh yeah, Father was talking about letting you retire when things settle down.
Yes, it's been a pleasure serving you all these years.
We're going to take him in at my place. You can see him again when you come visit me. Don't look so down. Yeah, I guess.
I'll leave this book here, Master Luke. Please feel free to read it if you're interested.
I will. Thanks, Pear.
Lore.
More exploring.
The next place Annis is going to drag us off to is... the port. Okay, so she's not really going to drag us off. We need to go back to the port anyway. No, we don't. Annis is going to drag us off to the port.
Hey guys, I think I left something at the I think there was something I have to pick up at the port.
Annis, we left the Albiore outside of Batical. We don't need to go to the port.
I still have to pick up something at the port because I ordered it, but I got stuck there,
Wait.
so it's still at the port, so I need to go pick it up, okay? Let's do this!
Why do we keep getting dragged into... Oh! Is General Cecile.
I heard what happened.
I don't know what to say.
It's alright. We're both soldiers. As long as we continue this job, it is something that will happen eventually. But... no, never mind. Please excuse me. I have to go restart my game. How could this happen? It's too cruel.
Yeah.
Like that chapter in the birthright side where Kaze dies. If you don't get his support up to A before then.
Whoops.
First time I played through, I didn't know that was a thing.
I need to go restart my game.
I almost threw my 3DS across the room.
Don't do that.
I was very upset. Ah, that made it worse.
There was a hair on your back. There are several hairs on your back.
Probably because the cat's fur is all over the damn blanket downstairs.
Well,
Or I'm shedding.
You're shedding. So,
Now where's Anna's gonna drag us?
well, the party's going to try to go to Doth. Annis is going to hijack the craft and go to Grand Kokma.
Hey, how about if we go to Grand Kokoma? Let's go!
Annis, we don't have any business in Grand Kokma.
I think we do! Come on, we haven't hung out with each other. Let's have some fun.
Are you seriously going to take us to the bar?
You're too
I
young
thought
to
you
drink!
I'm not
That's
going
the
to the
church.
bar.
Annis, you're walking straight into the bar.
They serve non-alcoholic drinks. Upstairs.
Annis.
They serve non-alcoholic drinks.
Annis. You are being far too obvious.
In the
What are
area
you trying to look for?
outside the bar?
Outside the bar?
Oh, this guy? Colonel Cardis, it's you! It's you, isn't it? You two know each other? Yes. I'm the Colonel's apprentice, Kasim! I don't recall making you my apprentice. Don't say that! Please teach me the secret of your phonic sight! It's been declared a forbidden text, so I can't even read it in the library!
Phonic sight? What's that?
It's the phonic art that the Colonel has applied to his eyes! The eyes are the greatest phone slot in the human body, so infusing a phonic art there allows a person to gather phonons at 3 times the normal rate!
I
He
see.
wears glasses.
Then the strength of that person's phonic arts would greatly increase as well.
But
Glare.
doesn't that only work because the Colonel is someone who can handle it? Not many people can control all 6 phonic phonons with just their own power. Haha.
Yes, different people have different strong points. If someone who can hardly even use phonic arts were to apply phonic sight, he would certainly die. Especially you, Kasim. Don't even think about it. All right, if you're going to be that stubborn about it, I'll apply Phonicside on my own!
He's going to go blind. Is it all right to let him do that? To let him go? I'm worried he may do something rash.
Even if he does, it will be his own fault. It's not my concern.
But he's your fucking apprentice!
I told him I don't recall making him my apprentice. I guess I should be used to it by now, but you never sound concerned about anything.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Did you see that thing I tagged you in on Facebook?
No.
Go look at it.
What did you do?
Go look at it while Annis drags us to the military base.
What the fuck? Hold on. I had the sound off.
The car. The car wanted to be a ballerina.
You could see the piece that broke.
Yeah,
the
I know.
axle.
The car wanted to be a ballerina.
That, not only that, but I can tell one, the axis broke, the spring came out, and the gears, I guess, curled into itself. So literally, it's stuck in that position.
The car
and
wanted
oh my
to be
god,
a ballerina.
the car cannot be a ballerina.
Sounds like it's the perfect car for your family.
No, it's not. There's no ballerinas in my house, and my dad would not want something that would destroy a car that would destroy its suspension, nor have that type of
God, I
adjustments
regret
to
tagging her in this now. Shut up! Nobody cares about cars.
You tagged me into it. This is your.
Because it was funny.
It is funny, but at the same time, I'm going all car out on you.
I'm gonna mute your mic in a minute.
Is something troubling you, sir?
It's you! You always show up at the perfect time as if you calculated it. You calculating old bastard!
I don't quite understand, but I'll take it as a compliment.
Anyway, I want to borrow your brain for a bit if you don't mind.
Where the fuck did this voice come from?
Certainly.
This sort of thing is really big government specialty, but I'm sure you can handle it. Take a look at this.
Hannah, are you literally like making yourself sound like you don't have any teeth?
I've been doing that. And this is...
The impact of the clipper sound from excuse me. The impact of the other man's descent into the clipper exposed legs better north of wind. This was found there.
It's an ancient Hispanian. It appears to be a sonnet, but it's meaningless and poorly written. What's it say? I'll read it aloud. The paradise is disturbed, and despair doth enshroud the world. Why doth the people become as beasts and bathe in blood? This power is not but a weapon. To one of wisdom I entrust my 3 powers, and declare them forbidden verse. The cluster of ice that doth shine like silver sleeps at the base of soil. It is the universal principle that sparkles in the desert. The great power that doth sleep at the foot of the frozen mountain is the embrace of heartless silver that doth carve the barren wilds. The sword of judgment is the wedge in the tides of the southern sea. The rainbow of the swamp doth illuminate he who seeketh knowledge, and shines down with 7-colored light upon the mountain path. Heaven's wrath doth fall upon the land of the children of divinity. Innumerable are the stars that shake the surface of the shallow river. Upon the island of spiritual mystery, bowed down before heaven's power. I didn't understand a word of that.
But Vildags are radiating out from that storm. If we are able to break the code of whatever it is, I suspect we'll uncover some sort of sealed power.
I see. Yes, this is definitely Field Marshal McGovern's area of expertise.
Do you think you can take on the task of deciphering this for me?
Understood. Just in case, I'll leave a copy in my room.
I feel like that was like some type of coding.
It was.
Let's go on a treasure hunt!
Actually, Annis is probably going to have a strong urge to visit Emperor Peony right now.
Maybe Peony can figure this out.
Well, Annis. Peony...
No, I'm serious. I think he would really want to do it. Like, and then maybe he'll issue you to do this treasure hunt and
I don't think Peony...
Treasure hunt. I bet it's a treasure hunt. And Peony will love it. So let's go!
I don't think Peony would be able to figure out a coloring book.
But he'll probably be able to then tell you to actually do it instead of just doing it in your free time. It'll be fun.
Kill me.
Kill me. Excuse me. Did any rat pigs run this way just now?
Rapigs?
No, we
Yeah.
haven't seen any.
Oh, darn. Oh no, what am I going to do?
Gelda,
Gelda!
Saphir.
Here! Where are you?
These we can't names.
I can't names that are weird names,
Those
okay?
are not weird names!
They are to me. Hi! Oh, it's you. You've come at a good time. Your mission this time is...
We haven't said anything about taking on any mission.
Details who needs them. More importantly, my precious rapids have run away. They should still be inside the castle somewhere. Think you could look for them?
Your Majesty, we did not come here to search for rapids.
What? Then I ask you this. What do you intend to do if my cute little Jade falls down the stairs and breaks his neck? How
Tear
will
just
you
starts cracking up.
How will you take responsibility if my cute little Jade is roasted in the kitchen?
That's extremely disturbing. Please stop saying that.
Don't worry, you're the non-cute Jade.
What?
My cute little Jade isn't good
Tear
at
is very
learning
confused
tricks.
right now.
But his fur is so shiny. And...
We'll search for them. We'll search for them. So please, please stop.
Will you please find my little cute, adorable
Yes!
chicken? I'm glad you've come to see it my way.
What is happening? I don't know, but I feel like we need popcorn.
There are 5 rat pigs.
Oh boy.
Jade, Saphir, Aslan, and
Gelda.
Gilda.
Gelda! It
It's
is
so
not
weird.
that hard!
Gelda! I
Quit!
bit my tongue.
I
Ow.
quit!
If you find them, I'll reward you. Thanks! Alright, we're gonna go find them. I can't believe one named after you.
Colonel?
My apologies. I was unable to take any further humiliation. Emperor Peony really has your number, huh, Jade? Has he got blackmail material on you or something? If Jade has any weaknesses, I'd like to know what they are. I have to admire His Majesty.
At any rate, now that we've taken on the job, we've got to look for them.
Yeah, let's get that reward.
You're only in it for the money.
Hold on. Here's the best part. Hey, Jade! Come here, Pinky Pinky!
Ugh. Ah, this one's Jade, huh? For being named Jade, he was pretty easy to find.
Jake is not pleased.
Come here, Rapiki Piki Piki. Rapiki Piki Piki.
You're really getting into this, huh, Annis?
Here it is.
I can't believe he used my sister's name.
But it looks like this one has the fanciest collar.
I'm not sure I like that either.
Wait, does that mean Emperor Peony has a crush on Jade's?
I will kill him! I will apply phonic sight to his eyes and explode him!
So you mean crush his eyes inward and make
Don't
his head
think
explode
that's
like
how
a
that
watermelon?
works.
Rapiki Piki Piki! Rapiki Piki Piki, where are you?
Oh god, it's another.
Where the fuck am I?
I have no idea.
I have no clue. Oh, look, the library.
There's a book in oh, wow. Hey, let's read some lore.
Yes! All the lore!
Ew.
What are phonons? The sound signals emitted by all things, living things, material objects, even the planet itself, have characteristic vibrations which are accompanied by sound. These can be divided into 6 major groups. Differences in element, vibration, and connection create matter in all its variety. First phonon, darkness. From 1 to 6, darkness, earth, wind, water, fire, light. The 7th phonon explained. A type of phonon distinct from the first through 6th phonons. Unlike them, it is not associated with a particular element. The memory particles that swirl about in the planet's core flow out through the radiation gate heading for the phone belt. The planet storm takes them around Aldrin and then back through the phone belt once more, finally flowing into the core through the absorption gate. These memory particles fuse with the first through 6th phonons and transform into 7th phonons. The Secret of Grand Kokma. Grand Kokma, seat of the great emperor of Malkuth, is built on the sea, and is often called the water capital for the beauty of the aqueducts running through the city. However, in times of crisis, this water capital becomes an impregnable fortress. The aqueducts form a barrier around the palace, preventing invasion by sea. It is also possible to secretly launch battleships through water-filled underground tunnels. All about phonic arts. The techniques for controlling the phonons that compose all things are called phonic arts. Those who study and use phonic arts are called phonists. The word phonist generally refers to those who use the first through 6th phonons. Malkuth Imperial Census. The floating capital, Grand Kokma, 600,000. The Citadel, St. Bina, 250,000. The Silver World, Ketterberg, 100,000. The Gross's Hamlet and Gave, 20,000. It did not look like 20,000 people lived in that tiny little spot on the world map. The mining town, Axariuth, 10,000. The total population of the Malkuth Empire, approximately 1,450,000. Note, Axariuth belongs to the Malkuth Empire. Right, it was disputed territory. The makings of marking. Marking is the act of placing phonic marks into others' phone slots so that they are not affected by wide-range phonic arts. These marks are not physical objects, but closer to phone verses inscribed on the target. This ensures that area effect attacks damage only the enemy and not allies. However, it is important to remember that marking only functions when the target is visible to the phonist, limiting the viability of using phonic arts on the battlefield. Oh, there's the piggy.
Up close, this one's eyes are the same color as General Frings.
And that's why he's named Aslan? His Majesty doesn't spend much time on names, does he? The phone slot seal. The phone slot seal is a way to prevent phonists from using phonic arts by placing a kind of phonic seal on the target's phone slots, nullifying his or her power. Unlike ordinary phonic seals, which only affect arts in use, the phone slot seal acts directly on the phonist, preventing all use of phonic abilities. In order to remove the phone slot seal, the proper key to the seal must be found. For more complex seals, this key can change periodically, making it extremely difficult to overcome. Oh, and we actually need to stop this episode here and find the rest of the little piggies next time.
See you guys in the next one.
Done it!
Hey guys! Do you like our content? Do you want to support the show? Click the link in the description below to visit our donation page. All proceeds go towards new and better equipment and games you want to see us play. Everyone who donates will get a special shout out at the end of future videos, and we're currently working on setting up some special perks for you. If you don't want to donate, that's okay too. You can support us by subscribing and clicking that bell icon so you get notified whenever we put out a new video. A huge thank you to Kyle Sheridan for donating and helping to keep our show going.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode of Let's Voice Act Tales of the Abyss. If you want to watch the last episode, click the box on the left. Or if you want to listen to our fantasy journey of Dungeons & Dragons from our show called Saving Throw, then I suggest clicking the box on the right. So again, thanks for watching and see you next time. Janet!